Hey, my little butterflies. Today we are in practice class 4, and yesterday we were talking about the shape of the face. We did a round shape and like a ball, and we did a egg shape, oval. Okay, so today we're just going to continue with the same thing and get into finer details, basic details. Basically, we're just going to look at points. Let's say this is my head. Okay, starting here. This is my hairline here. I have my eyebrows here. So distance between my hairline and my eyebrows, I can see the hair here. So I have to take part of the head as well. Then I have my eyes, which is the center, the pupil. Okay, this is going to be very dangerous what I'm doing. Okay, so yeah, okay. So this is the tip of my nose. Here. And then I have the top of my lips, which is a slight way here, you can see. You have your lower lip, you have the middle, uh, this part, and then you have your chin. And then you have some very sharp points, like you have your ears, which is your eyebrows, between your eyebrows and your nose. See, it's like this. You can do this with your own face. It's very interesting. You get to learn so much. You can see how the curve is going. So we'll come to all that later. Okay. And then you have your little bump here, which is a temple. We say bump. Okay, my head is hurting. Oh my God. So here is a bump. Okay, so this bump goes from your eyebrows. Okay, here till almost the bottom of your eyes. So these things are very easy to remember. And then you have your slight bump here. See, it's mm, 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 here. So this is my jawline, right? So there's a slight bump here. We usually call it depression. Okay, which is a better word, I think. So there's a slight bump here. You see the slight bump here. So now that we know what the face looks like, we need to get the proportions right. We need to know. Can you imagine if my eyebrows were here and I drew a nose here and my lips here, where would my chin go? My chin would become so long. It would be like really funny. Yeah. So I show you the proportions today. So okay, now coming back to the drawing. Yeah. So here we are. I'm going to quickly do 2 points here. Yeah. So what you can also do is try and play around with your pencil. Pencil can be real fun. So let's say I want to measure with my pencil. So I take this point to this point. I take till here. Okay, this is how long this pencil is. Then from here I go here. You can do this at home. This is also a practice. Now let's say I take half. I just hold half. I put the point here, and here is my half. And then here is my half again. So this and this becomes my head, my whole oval, and this becomes my middle point. Yeah. So if this is my middle point, I do a horizontal. Okay. So here we go. So I've taken a smaller face. I am going to do a straight line, slightly longish. I'm going to do a small one here. Give it a slight curve. I want to do this. Here we go. Okay. So now I take my best line told you how to hold a pencil. Now let's see this. Okay, let's take half of this somewhere here. So let's take half of this. Yo, great. So this is my half point. Here is my vertical line. Here is my horizontal line. This is the top of my head, 1. This is the middle, the center of my eyes, and this is point number 3. Okay, now let's forget the top. Between 2 and 3, I have to divide 2 and 3 into 3 parts, into thirds. Yeah, so I take, it was looking too big. So let's see. Now I take my pencil again, try and measure. Great. Okay, so I think this is a good line. This is a good line. This becomes 4. This is my point number 5. This is my lips. Okay, I can take this as the bottom of my lips, or I can take this, okay, as my lower lip. I prefer this. Okay, this is my nose. This is the center of my eyes where the pupil is. Now let's forget 2 and 3. Let's forget the lower part. Let's look at 1 and 2. Between 1 and 2, we will divide 1 and 2 into 4 parts. This is very interesting, and it's very important. It just makes your drawing so much more easier when you have these, as you get better, you will not need to draw these lines because your imaginary lines will be so good. Yeah, so here I've divided into 4, and let's number it. So we've done till 5. Let's call this 6, 7, and 8. So we have 1, very important, 2, very important, 3, very important. So 1, 2, and 3 is very important. Then I have 4, 5, between 2 and 3, and between 1 and 2, which is my center point, which is 6, 7, and 8. On 3 equal, there's equal space. Okay. Now, when I'm doing the eyes, always remember the gap between the nose is the same gap or the same size of your eyes. Always remember, from inside to outside. So now let's try and measure. I've taken, okay, this is my 1, right? This is my 2. This is my 3. 3 perfect size. Okay. Eyes, eyes, nose. Okay. So now I come here to, this is my center point. Let's take a little bit to my left and a little bit to the right. So let's do this so we don't forget that these are the 2 points that we have taken. So this is the inside of my eye. Make a small C, very small C, okay, on the inside of the eye, on both sides. Now let's take this. Here we go. Here it is. Okay. Let's make a circle in the center. Let's put a dot in the center for the pupil. Okay. Now this inside line, you draw a straight line. This is the width of your nose. This becomes your eyebrows. Eyebrows, always remember there's a small tilt here. Okay. But this, of course, the shape varies depending on the expression of the person's face and what you're trying to. Sometimes it can go up, it can go down. It all depends. Yeah. So here we go. I'll do this here. I'll do this here. Now the lips, the width of your center line should be up to the inside of the pupil on both the sides. The inside part, okay? The inside part, not the outside, the inside. Now you make two strong points here and make a line. Okay, you've done this V. Now for the nose, I'll do a C and I'll do a V. This is just, we'll come to this later. Okay, this is just to give you a rough. Coming to the forehead, I usually like to take any place between 6 and 7. That becomes your hairline. Okay, so it depends. If you have a smaller forehead, take a smaller part. If you have a larger, that you can play around with. So let's be safe and let's take a center one and do a V here. Okay. Now, if you want side parting, do a V here. This V has to be there. You want center parting, do another V here. Let's say I don't want these two, I want a parting on my left, so I do a V here. This is very interesting. I'll give you all the tips later. So this is your basic structure. Yes. So quickly I do this. Take a imaginary center line. I divide it into equal parts. I do this into 4. Now, two, three. Here we go straight. Now between my eyebrows, which is point number 8 on top, and point number 4. This is my ears, eyebrows, and this is the tip of your nose, your ears. So 8 and 4. Okay. So you need to remember the structure really well. I have sent you all a drawing on WhatsApp. Please have a look so you can keep practicing. Yeah. And so now we'll talk about the bumps that we have, the depression, as I have told you, to give it a slight shape to your face, right? Because it's very important. Your face cannot just be, it's never a circle, it's never a, well, you can start with this, you can come to this later. But let's quickly do this. Okay, here is my oval. You remember I showed you where the temple is and the jawline. So this is just to tell you where the jawline and the temple should be. This is, let's say I've taken half. Okay. So I'm going to do a very quick rough thing to, I'm not going to go into the details. Yeah. Okay, so here, this is where my ears are. Now I showed you very clearly this area, this point to your eyes is where you'll see a slight bump, or we call it a depression. So this is, sorry, this is your temple, and then we go down and you'll see between your upper lip and your lower lip is a slight bump again. Very slight. Of course, this I've made it dark deliberately so you understand. Okay. So now let's see what happens. This is going to be very important when you're doing the when you're making animals as well, because you need to know where the eyes are, where the nose is, where of course their calculation also we will look into, and we will get into birds and animals later. But this is very important, your basic human structure, understanding figures. If you want, if you like landscapes, and maybe you can put in a line and I can talk to you about landscapes as well. So here is my oval. I take my favorite line. Take my favorite line. Horizontal line, vertical line. As we spoke, this is my center point. So let's say here is the pupil, my eyes, nose, yeah, my lips here. So here I go in. Do you see that? Very slight. If you know, when you, if you make it, if it's too prominent, then it gives the shape of a very old person. So sometimes when you see a kid, when you draw a face of a kid, this is always very full, this area. Yeah. So that is how it goes. Be very careful of the hair because you know this where your hair is very important. Okay, so that is that, and let's look at the hairline here, and we go like this. Okay, cool. So thank you. I've given you a very rough idea of how to get the proportions right. Just be very careful of your points that I have explained it here as well. Look at look at your points very carefully. I have also sent you all the different types of faces. You have your heart shaped, you have your round, oval, square, rectangle. I have already posted this on my group of the students who are enrolled in my class. I mean, enrolled, of course, everyone is free to join, so there's no problem. Here, you know, you have your different uh, calculations, you have your different types of face. And so, yeah, keep practicing and do well. And please keep posting your practice and get back to me whenever you want. Just call me and please like the link and subscribe. The more, the merrier. It just encourages me to work harder and teach better. Thank you so much.